Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news. During a recent edition of the Believe You Me podcast, Michael Bisping asked Drew Dober about a rumor that he's facing off against Paddy Pimblett at UFC 288. Here's the clip.
Start with this. I'm going to ask, you even kind of cryptically tweeted, big things going on this year. If you can't talk about it, just say can't talk about it. But Drew Dober, Paddy Pimblett, UFC 288, 6th of May, according to someone on Twitter.
Well, that's one exciting fight. I think everyone wants to see me punch Paddy in the mouth and to see test his scouser theory. But it's really all up in his field. I'm not above fighting anybody, and especially someone as well liked as this guy. But the ball's in his court, so I've accepted. I'm all for it. I'm ready to go whenever he wants. Now we're just waiting on him.
So you got offered the fight and you accepted it?
I wouldn't go say it was offered, as in I've been, put my name up in the mix to fight him. Now we're just figuring out what the UFC wants to do with Paddy. And, like when you have X many followers on Instagram, right? Like he has to, call the shots, and we'll see what he wants, and I'll agree to it.
Dana White is back this week with an all-new recipe. Let's check it out.
What's up, everybody? This is Friday here at UFC headquarters, and today we'll be trying the Italian fried rice. In a hot wok, cook together diced mushrooms, zucchini, Italian sausage, and diced pepperoni. Once that's cooked, add egg, sun-dried tomatoes, day-old rice, and pesto. All right, here we go. I'm not a big fan of pesto, so that'll probably ruin it right out the gates for me. Surprise, surprise. That is awesome. That was actually very good. And I do not like pesto. That's a winner. Very good. I'm actually blown away by how much I like this.
During a recent interview, Jon Jones talks about what an honor it is to fight Cyril Gane.
And now I'm ready to compete at the heavyweight division and challenge myself against some of the biggest, toughest athletes that the sport's ever seen. And I'm excited for the opportunity. This move has been a long time coming. Maybe I wasn't ready before. I had more work to do at light heavyweight, but this time is, it feels great. The time is now. And I'm glad that I finally made the move. And what does it mean to me? It just means everything. I believe that the heavyweight division is at an all-time high. We got athletes that the world's never seen. Guys like Gane. And what better time to challenge yourself?
Actually, Cyril Gane thinks that he will stop you from being the next champion. What do you know about him?
What I know about Cyril Gane, I don't know much about him. I believe he played soccer growing up. He had a really successful Muay Thai career and was like 14-0 as a Muay Thai fighter. And he's done really well in the UFC. Outside of that, I really don't know much about him, his character or anything like that. He seems like a stand-up young man. I'm honored to fight him. So thus far there's been no real beef. There's been no real, arguing or anything outside of us both just being professionals. And it's refreshing. It's nice to fight a gentleman like Cyril.
Michael Chandler has continually said he wants his fight against Conor McGregor to be at a higher weight. During a recent interview, McGregor also seemed to confirm his desire for a fight at 185. Chandler went on to share a clip of McGregor to Twitter along with the caption, "185 please." Chandler followed it up with, "Well over 185. I hope. I'm here to break his will, not lose weight." Chandler then went on to share his thoughts on how his TUF experience is going. TUF 31 is so much more work than I anticipated. Emotion a roller coaster. I am so much more invested in every one of these athletes' futures than I ever could have planned for. I love my team. They feel it. I feel it. We are working diligently to put game plans in place and accruing skills to get their hands raised on fight night. Team Chandler is looking and feeling strong. I am proud of what we are building. During a recent edition of the Weighing In podcast, Josh had this to say about the fight between Henry Cejudo and Aljamain Sterling, set to go down in May. Josh then went on to talk about the beef Aljo has with him and Big John. Here's a clip.
I think it's the fight that needed to happen. Henry Cejudo never lost the title. He vacated it. Aljamain Sterling has proven to be a good fighter. I mean, we knew he was a good fighter before, but I also think that now he is, with his win over Peter Yan and then his win over TJ Dillashaw, no matter what had happened. And I know, look, Aljo's got a little beef with Big John and I because of what we had said about him in terms of the first Peter Yan fight. He came out and proved us wrong in the second Peter Yan fight. I have no ill will towards the guy. No matter what he said about me and whatever, I know he's like, oh, Josh, I used to like you as a fighter, man. But, man, you disrespected me. Now you're I'm like, Aljo, like, I just called what I saw. And I know not everyone wants to hear that. I know fighters don't want to hear that. And nobody wants to hear the truth. But what I saw was somebody that kind of just, I don't think that you faked being hurt. But I just felt like you faked at the end how dramatic it was. Like you didn't know what was going on. You knew what was going on. And it's okay. I wouldn't have wanted to carry on getting fighting too against someone like Peter Yan, knowing that you could potentially never get that title shot again. You got the title. But then you went out there and proved everyone wrong in the second fight.
Johnny Walker will face off against Anthony Smith on May 13th. During a recent interview, Walker sheds light on what he expects from the fight and how he beat Smith.
When you look at Anthony Smith, where do you feel like your path to victory is?
He's a pretty talented athlete as well. No, he fought Jones. He fought like very high level guys. I know he's a complete fighter, but I think the key for the victory is just I eat the lion heart.
I like that. I like that a lot. And Anthony, he's coming off of a loss. He broke his ankle in that fight against Magomed Ankalaev. But before that, he was on a nice 3-fight winning streak. So where do you feel like Anthony is? Do you feel like, because it seemed like a pretty bad injury he was talking about it, and I was surprised to see him be a backup for that title fight and now getting back. So what kind of version of Anthony do you expect again?
Hopefully he bring the best version of himself, because I'm gonna bring the best that I can. I'm gonna prepare for the best version of Anthony Smith, you know. So hopefully he prepare good as well, because if not, it's gonna be a first round knockout or first round finish.
Aljamain Sterling gives his honest opinion on next weekend's fight between Jon Jones and Cyril Gane. Aljo starts by commenting on what Gane had to say about not training until a fight was announced.
You think he's working on his wrestling?
In the offseason, I'm going to say no. But I'm going to say I think he's definitely training in the offseason. It doesn't have to be a full-on training camp and as intense, but I think the guy is definitely training. You're a world champion. If you think you're not going to train, if this is what he's really doing and there's no cap there, bro, that's not looking good.
Yeah, if that's true, I feel like it's a death sentence.
Yeah. And to think you're going to get ready for Jon Jones on such short notice and close that gap, yeah.
And he's going to wrestle you and tire you out.
Yeah, he's not going to go for the wrestling right out of the gate because that's a lot of weight. And with the guy putting his weight on him, that's going to be different. But if Jon gets a clean takedown and he makes him carry his weight, good luck getting up against Jon Jones.
Yeah.
But again, he's got to close the distance against a real elite striker. And I think Cyril Gane is going to be... If I'm Cyril Gane, I'm poking my strikes. Those snap kicks that he does with the teeth, the lead leg, bouncing. I'm using a lead jab, maybe a cross darting in and getting out. I'm not doing anything too much where I'm giving Jon an opportunity to tie me up, slip, and get underneath my punches and lock his hands around my waist, or to get to a single leg, or to get to a body lock and then drop to a single and then come up or look for an inside leg trip. All he needs to do is trip. He needs you to fall on a banana peel, and I think that's Jon's fight. Crucifix position, side mount, the fight's over. I personally feel that way.
So if it gets to the ground once, you think it's just...
I think it's curtains. Curtains.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.